Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea transfer news and Chelsea news in general as well. Time for exits. Time for some exits. Do you know what? I'm quite happy over the next few weeks if we are not really looking into any acquisitions. We are more focused into letting some players go. I'm more than happy with that. We've got a lot of players that we need to get rid of, which is important to ensure that we meet the PSR compliance of UEFA. We need to get rid of a lot of players. We need to raise funds, and we need to slim down our squad numbers as well. The ratio to squad players that we have to how much we earn is a bit out of control. We've seen that news in recent times. So I've got no qualms about us working towards getting players like Disasi, getting players like Jean-Felix, getting players like Renato Viga, whoever else, out of the door immediately. It needs to happen. So first up, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off with Axel Disasi. This is the latest in regards to Disasi coming from Fabrice Hawkins. When it comes to French players, Fabrice Hawkins, you need to take him seriously. Villareal has contacted Axel Disasi and negotiations are ongoing. Newcastle, other Premier League and Italian clubs are keeping an eye on him and monitoring him. Chelsea will ask for around £25 million and the player is expected to leave. I think £25 million is very, very reasonable. Very reasonable. In this day and age, someone like Disasi, if he was in a different club, this guy would have gone for at least 40 million. 25 million on a player that is on the decline for us. He is no longer part of our plans. It's a shame that we actually took him to the preseason, to a last season, if you guys remember, and we dropped Chalobah. Whoever made that decision, I hope you never, ever make these sort of silly mistakes again. Great to see that we are looking to get rid of him. I think it's the right move. There was only the one match he played for us. That was against Manchester City a couple of seasons back under Pochettino, where he was beautiful. He was like a shining armor. But since then, we've seen his lackings. Whenever we want to play a high line, this guy is just nowhere to be seen. His pace isn't there. His awareness, the mistakes he did as well last season under Enzo Maresca, some of the passes that he'd make to Robert Sanchez. Oh my God, there was an own goal. I remember he made a pass and Robert Sanchez was nowhere to be seen, and it was a goal. So look, good. Hopefully Villareal, you remember, we came in for Nicholas Jackson. You made money from us for Nicholas Jackson. Now stump up the money for Axel Disasi. But then again, look, it's not just Villareal. Looks like Newcastle could be interested and other Premier League teams as well, and Italian clubs. The problem with Italian clubs is they don't have the money. They will not have the money. So I'd rather, if it's a Premier League team, or go to Villareal. Hopefully Villareal can stump up the 25 million. At the end of the day, as I said, 25 million is not a huge sum of money, but this was something definitely we can put aside for raising that 60 million. We've got a lot of players to go through, and we can easily get to that 60 million. We'll start things off with Disasi. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Disasi perhaps going to Villareal. Do you think his career is over at Chelsea Football Club? Let me know. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Jackson doesn't want to leave Chelsea this summer. He has taken on board all the criticism and competition. He sees it all as a call to improve. I like this. I mean, look, this journalist, as you can see over here, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Rahman Osman. He's a massive advocate of Nicholas Jackson. He must have direct contacts to him. So big up to him. And if he's saying this, then I believe that Jackson probably wants to stay, wants to compete. I like that. I like that attitude. Even though we've been over Jackson in recent times of the shenanigans he's been up to, getting those red cards, back-to-back red cards as well. At least he's not shying away from the competition. At least he wants to give his level best. And this might make him into a better player, Look, Madueke most likely is on the way. And I don't necessarily need to go out there and replace everyone if we don't have the right replacement. I wanted Mohamed Kudus. If we're not getting Kudus, let's look internally. This is what I've recently talked a little bit about on social media, especially X, that maybe Nkunku might not be the best, might not be the worst idea to keep. Similarly with Nicholas Jackson, look, if he's happy to compete and if he is showing that he's looking to step up because of all of this competition. Because now there's João Pedro, who can play multiple positions. There's Liam Delap, who's definitely going to play as a number 9. And Jackson, he's someone Enzo Maresca has said in the press conference, he sees him only as a number 9. So you could potentially play in place of Delap, and then João Pedro can still play in other roles. So Nicholas Jackson, it's up to you. The onus is on you to compete and not shy away, and looks like he doesn't want to shy away. So happy for him to stay as long as he can perform at the highest level and improve. His aim is to put the last few games behind him and get back to his best form. Brilliant, because he's had a couple of mind snaps. What he did to the Newcastle defender, people's elbow, and then what he did at who was it that he got a red card against? Flamengo, yeah, stamping on the player. Not good, not good. If you can eradicate all of that, if you can start behaving properly, and you can stay focused and improve on your game, because there's a lot that needs to improve. Your ability to score up front, your finishing, and aerially you need to improve as well. And yes, your temperament needs to improve. So let's see what happens. If he wants to stay, if he wants to compete, I'm happy to keep him. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Are you done with Nicholas Jackson? Let me know in the comment section. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, AC Milan manager Allegri also confirms Maignan Chelsea deal are completely off. I'm very happy he decided to stay. Mike remains the captain and is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going back to Mike Maignan. I don't think we're going to go for any goalkeepers. Robert Sanchez and Jurgensen will be the number 1 and number 2, respectively, for next season, which, look, it scares me. But what I can say, Sanchez in the recent times has actually looked better. So can he keep maintaining this over the next 12 months? That's the big question mark. I mean, I think that's a big, big gamble. I'd still rather go and get a top goalkeeper, but who else to get now? And we're looking to get rid of Petrovic as well. We need to raise funds. Looks like we have to get rid of Petrovic. So no Mike Maignan. We're most likely going to hang around with Robert Sanchez and Jurgensen. And we're going to look at Mike Penders down the track, if he can be Chelsea number 1. So this, I had a feeling maybe would go back to AC Milan and try and get Mike Maignan, but that's not the case. That topic is over. He's the captain. He's going to stay. AC Milan are losing Theo Hernandez as well. Well, they've already got a here we go for that for Al Hilal. So I don't think Allegri wants to lose too many players. He's going to get Luka Modric to AC Milan though. But I can understand, the manager doesn't want to get rid of, doesn't want to see all of these key players leave. But we had our opportunity and we squandered it. We haggled around for 2, 3, 4 million max, and we absolutely fumbled that. But maybe we didn't truly want him. Maybe we were looking for an opportunity, and if it fell into our jurisdiction, then we would have gone for him. If not, we weren't totally upset about it. And that's what it shows. We're happy with Sanchez and Jurgensen and Penders down the track. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Maresca on Romeo Lavia's fitness. Romeo is training, but he is not training with us. Unfortunately, he is not ready for tomorrow. There you go. Back-to-back matches now. Romeo Lavia is missed out on the match against Palmeiras. Now he's going to miss out on the match against Fluminense. He, when he's capable, when he's actually fit, he's such an important player. But this is the problem with Romeo Lavia. I don't remember the last time Romeo Lavia was able to play back-to-back games. 2 games back-to-back in the space of 1 week. I don't remember. The conundrum here is he's such a good player, but what do? This guy is consistently not available. Next season, with Premier League matches, Champions League matches that are going to happen on a regular, then you throw in the club competitions, cup competitions. There's going to be a plethora of matches, and this guy potentially can only play one week at a time. And then sometimes he can't even play that. What do? I say we still stick around with him for 1 more season and see where it all ends up. But Romeo Lavia, got to work hard on your fitness, man. Like, what's going on with that body? Similarly with Reece James, or at least Reece James over the last few months, he's been able to manage it. He's another one of those, you can't play more than 1 game. Romeo Lavia probably falls into that bracket. It's a big miss for us. Against Fluminense, we need everyone available. It'll be interesting to see, though, now that he's missing, the next conversation is the key conversation. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Enzo Maresca, we used Andre Santos in Caicedo's position. We are quite happy, but more happy when Moy is in the team. Now, a lot of you guys might look at that and say, yeah, well, that's the general consensus. Of course, we're a lot more happy when Moses Caicedo is there. But I think what Enzo Maresca is indirectly trying to say, and this is my opinion, is that whenever Moses Caicedo is fit and ready to play, he will play. So all of these Premier League matches and all of these Champions League key matches, Moses Caicedo will play as a CDM. Andre Santos is not looked at as a CDM by Enzo Maresca. That's what I'm getting out of this. Enzo Maresca consistently keeps saying, Andre Santos will substitute with Enzo Fernandez. Yes, he's done a job for us in place of Caicedo, but he doesn't prefer that. That is what I'm getting from Enzo Maresca. He doesn't prefer. He prefers Caicedo there, and I'm sure he prefers then Isugu to substitute with Caicedo. Now that Romeo Lavia is not going to be there, what are we going to do? Because I feel against Fluminense, and we're going to do the preview tomorrow. Do look out for the early UK time. I feel like against Fluminense, you're going to play with Enzo Fernandez, you're going to play with Caicedo, and then you're going to play someone in place of Romeo Lavia. Now, do you play Santos, or are you going to revert to Reece James being in midfield? Because you best believe Reece James is going to be back. So this is what I want to see. I think this will give us a clear indication where Enzo Maresca sits with Andre Santos. Me personally, I think Andre Santos can play, sure, but I feel like in Maresca's system, Andre Santos is far suited in that Enzo Fernandez position. Andre Santos, as much as he can do a good job, Moses Caicedo is the #1 player in the CDM position. And Romeo Lavia is probably the second best. Santos is more of a box-to-box, in my opinion, who can do a job as a CDM, no problems, but doing a job is probably not good enough when you have Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. This is what I want to see. How much does Enzo Maresca trust Andre Santos to play deeper with Moses Caicedo and have Enzo Fernandez push forward? And if he doesn't start, I think that will be a clear indication where Enzo Maresca truly feels Andre Santos is best suited. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. We shall see you guys for the match preview of Chelsea versus Fluminense early tomorrow morning UK time, approximately about 9 a.m., somewhere around there. Until then, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.